Hmm. Hello, it's kind of dark. Please excuse that. I'm in my artist loft space and I am creating a cupcake tier from flowers and sea moss for my cupcake soaps. And as I'm creating this, I am thinking about my self-worth. I'm thinking about Mars in the 12th house. I was born with Mars in the 12th house. It also shares my first house in Virgo. And when I first learned about Mars in the 12th house, it was a big awakening for me. Um, for those of you who have aspects of 12th house planets, you know that if you don't deal with the issues in your 12th house, it can consume your whole chart, your whole birth chart, your whole life, your whole experience, your whole imprint will be full of the drama of the 12th house. And the 12th house to me is the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind to me is what is beneath your head, your body. Your body, which most of the time we don't drop into and feel what our body is sensing. We block it out. So a lot of us are walking around in our head and not in our body. And something else is controlling our body, which is why we have habits, addictions, um, and just unpleasant life dramas and patterns that you can't seem to get out of. It's probably because you haven't dropped down inside of your body. It's one thing to be able to pinpoint, well, for me, I have a narcissistic mother. It's one thing to know that intellectually. It's another thing to drop down in my body and feel what that actually means for me in my experience, where I hold in that energy, where I have been bracing really tight. You can't feel my fist, but I'm balling it up really tight because that's how a lot of us um, hold our energy. We're bracing ourselves for the next attack. With Mars in the 12th house, I was in an emotionally aggressive, emotionally violent situation, and sometimes physically violent. And I was a lot of times unable to move, unable to remove myself from the situation. Mars have to do with your willpower, your will to live, your zest for life, your sexual energy, how you feel empowered. And with my Mars being in Virgo, you know, I feel empowered through expressing myself through the arts, music, um, perfecting those things, yeah. Um, Being very diligent and working at the things that I like to express, which is if it's fitting for me to have an artist loft where I work with my hands every day and I'm doing my thing. But also with Mars in the 12th house, you can't sense that you are actually doing anything, which is very interesting. So while I was doing this, I was aware, I'm like, I'm doing this because what gets taken away from you with having Mars in the 12th house is that your willpower matters. Your will matters. With Mars in the 12th house, you often feel like your will doesn't matter. Um, and you dismiss, although you probably grew up with people dismissing what you do and making it out to be nothing, you now as an adult tend to do it to yourself. Like I do that to myself now. And and when you dismiss what you do, it's like you keep doing things. You're spinning your wheels. You can't seem to do enough. You exhaust yourself. and then you feel like you're failing. Like I was literally sitting here feeling like I failed, and then I looked around at everything that I've done, and it's just not true. And I'm never going to stop doing things that I love to do. I'm never going to stop using my willpower. It's like when you have a planet in the 12th house, it seems like it's not there. And you kind of go really hard and exhaust yourself because you want to feel like that part of you exists so bad. You want to give it, you want it to come up into the conscious mind. You want it to be, excuse me, you want that part of you to be known, to be felt, to be heard and seen. So you probably go a lot harder than you probably should, just to make up for and compensate for the fact that you're not in touch with feeling good about it, with feeling abundant, with feeling validated, with feeling worthy. So that's all I have today. Thanks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment.